outra vez. So you, Niantic, if it is Niantic, so let me help you with the process. So you have a quick thing. So I think I would advise you to ask for to be honest with your fans and ask some patience, because as well you're helping them to keep a state as well of mind that they had lost and probably had not the chance to get something so soon. So you have to be kinda front forward with them. You tell them do not expect something like perfect, because it is a good idea to have something of test for you to learn some references of mistakes as well, because you have to tell them that mistakes somehow can happen as well for you to learn. Not that you're making mistakes, but you're trying something, but because you're in a rush as well to have my probably potential Nintendo, you have to tell them as well. You have to be kinda a bit humble, that this game is as well is something of a rush to support your condition you're used to, because as well it's like kinda a dependency you have there as well, because of the mind probably goes into depression, like kinda the dopamine levels drop, whatever. So I'd like linking you in the hospital some serum for you to not have your heart going down. So as well I'm doing that, I'm doing you a favor. So probably in the next games it can be better, or maybe updates, whatever. Now you can use this to make this game as well prepare now a new game, kinda new restart to make this a game effectively with that thing, because Pokemon Go is a sentence, isn't it? But you can update it. But I would advise you to really create a game, a new Pokemon Go, that now with this central code, probably you can maintain this one, but with this central code. So with this, all Pokemon players of the world can fight each other online. Now I would advise you to create a world connection, like GTS, isn't it? Where me from here can play a person from United States of America, like without much trouble. Understand? Without having to have this thing. I have to go to this hotspot here, connect to it at every Nintendo open, like a room. So naturally, because I'm here, people are there, people all over the world can play with each other. So now we can is as well a a reason for people to maintain the smartphones and not damage them. So Android now I'm giving them purpose as well. Apple, as well Sony, Microsoft, the others with Windows, for them to keep their works, so they can keep the purpose, because of the needs of internet. So people as well of internet and coders and programmers, whatever, keep their jobs, engineers, whatever. So as for them to have a reason to keep this system going on and making updates that sustain this level of importance, as well as one thing to have in mind that is decent, that helps everyone, for them to have a reason to keep on with the work, because probably the system can go on going down. Now every people of the world completely, all the people of internet, the Android, all the systems, Xiaomi, whatever, and have a reason to keep with the technology, for them to not lose interest And people as well want to buy more smartphones because there at least this one purpose that connects everyone, to connect every human being if possible. At least you have a place where you are not enemies. So I'll be giving you this idea. I'm telling you to tell your friends, or your friends will be patient a bit, but it can be quick. So I'm telling you how I would advise you to do the thing, because when you do the thing, if you want to create a better kind of revolution, kind of better stadium, you will think, how will I do this? Isn't it? It's a thought probably you have to do with your developers. How will I do this? But because I would like this to be fast, I will not want something. You have to tell the defenders. I would not I would not want something that is tipo kind of I have to do like too much work. So like modelage. I don't know if the modelage is something we use in English, like a mold kind of create the characters. So I have to make molds for every characters, like sprites for everything, the attacks, but so it would take a lot. And how would I make this in my system that I would not make the need for a change of the entire system to accommodate the changes, because I have made a change on one system. It affects everything of renderization, for example, whatever there. So you can, for me, I would advise kind of a cheap trick to solve this one. So because I want to kill a bit. So what I would advise is like this. So here you have Pokemon Go, isn't it? For example, this is the image of your smartphone. Smartphone, isn't it? Smart. I don't know how you say smartphone. It's like that, isn't it? Kind of your smartphone. So this is a Pokemon Go experience of your smartphone. So you have the character here. So walking. So here is GPS, isn't it? The experience of the smartphone. You are here watching, and and you are in a real geographical location. Geographical location. Location, isn't it? You're there in geographical location. We have a position here that is worth something here. Or something here. So you have a means of conversion as well. So a GPS is a mean of evaluation, kind of evaluation, yeah. But is a means of meaning as well, kind of a measure, isn't it? For you to measure in a kind of light perspective what would mean walking here, isn't it? This is GPS. So you here you have this experience. You, for example, is a way to understand in accommodated perspective the experience I cannot have completely with my capacity here. So this space here, in for example 1 kilometer, can be seen here in a Zeus perspective. Pretend this one perspective, isn't it? So I know where I'm going. So I do not get lost. So, for example, 1 centimeter of walking here might value 1 kilometer here. So here get there quicker. I know these 1 centimeters Well, it means, for example, 20 minutes of travel, isn't it? That's GPS. So here, the person goes two steps, but has to, it means 20 kilometers for example. So here you have to be cautious not to think you're kind of God, because but you have to, for example, understand what values a step, isn't it? So you have the experience of Pokemon Go here. So you're walking here. That's why the character cannot be walking really as fast as you are, because otherwise you would walk. For example, this bit here, he would walk this bit here, kind of bite here, that in fact would be this much you had to walk. That's why probably you're walking on here, GPS, or on real life, you're walking like this, isn't it? But here the character seems to be at the same spot, isn't it? When you get to half, it walks half that centimeter and walks here. That's why the character seems to walk on the same place, isn't it? Because it's just a representation, isn't it? And then when you walk the other half, it walks the other centimeter to value this 1 centimeter as 20 kilometer, isn't it? That's how GPS works. So here you have Pokemon Go. You go. Then what happens? You go one. That's why this experience would be better than the others. Effectively, you're really finding Pokemons on the street like grass. More real, because you're walking effectively. Experience is real, kind. But then, when you find a Pokemon, it opens a stadium. It opens, and you have a stadium, isn't it? You have the experience. But then, for example, the stadium there, attack the Pokemon there, and whatever stadium, fight, isn't it? Then Pokemon scales like crazy. Pokemon Go is an insane game. Like people go crazy, isn't it? Then what I would advise for you to not make all the creatures, all the sprites, whatever, for you to have a hasten kind of game, fast whatever game, you pick some emulator, because you can change the entire game. So I had to make a new game, too much time, easy to understand. So you pick, when you find a Pokemon or a player to fight, you open an emulator you have already. Imagine you have an association with Nintendo. It allows you to bring the more advanced emulator you have there. Imagine Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, or Scarlet and Violet. Then you use this. You open an emulator, emulation. So you do not have to have all the work. Then you can make it afterwards with time. You open an emulation where you associate Pokemon Go with an emulator. Then you emulate the battle stadium with the Pokemons. If for example, you use Scarlet and Violet, for example, if Nintendo is with you, then you can make the new Pokemons, just the new Pokemons that were made, whatever. If there is no new Pokemon, you make it there, then you fight there, and you close, you come back to the GPS. You open and emulate every fight you have in tournaments. Then probably you have Station Park there in the play. You open an emulator there. Now what you can bring all the mechanics, literally like Pokemon, with association with Nintendo, if you wish. And Nintendo can come back and not fall. Now you can bring all the EV training, Station Park can go on, and the same mechanic of Pokemon. All the attacks you can bring new attacks, and then you drop the thing of Pokemon Go fight, whatever. No one understands that mechanic really. Why the things damage the way two you bring the same damage calculation. Then you have outubro again with the tournament online. Open associated with an emulation where you can have a game of battle of turns. For example, Scarlet Invited is there just for that purpose. Then with time you can focus and make something kind of decent, like kind of decent for that context.